Unfortunately, it has become crystal clear that it will take more than a week to finish the appropriations process. So today, I am taking the first procedural step for the Senate to pass a temporary extension of government funding so the government does not shut down on January the 19th.
And that was Majority Leader Chuck Schumer announcing he is moving forward with a vote on a short-term spending bill, continuing resolution to keep the government funded ahead of the first shutdown deadline on January 19th. This is just 1 week from today. Hardline conservative lawmakers are making progress during a closed-door meeting with Speaker Mike Johnson, however. They had a meeting yesterday. Johnson is reportedly considering a new path that differs from the spending deal he reached with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. Joining me right now is Utah Congressman Burgess Owens. He is a member of the House Education and Transportation Committees. Congressman, it's great to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Maria. Same here for sure. Looking forward to chatting with you.
What could you say about what this deal looks like today? Are you pleased with what Schumer just said? He's looking for another CR.
Well, this is a very difficult place to be. We had decided not to go the CR route again. At the same time, well, I do know that the one place it'll be a hard stop, and that is we have to make sure the border is secure. That's something that that outside has decided is a non-starter not to have that part of the process. The problem is this: is that in essence we're dealing with the side of the aisle that I think, in essence, does want a shutdown. I think that the president feels that if there's a shutdown, that gives them more leverage, of course, because they give more pain to the American people. We would rather not have that. At the same time, this is a very difficult time to believe because we're running out of time at the end of the day. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this next week works out. We would like not to have a shutdown, but at the same time, we have to make sure that the things that are really a priority, and that is the border, is at the very front. That is sealed in a big way, for sure.
I mean, have you had any movement whatsoever from President Biden and the Democrats on actual policy changes at the southern border?
There's a lot of talk, but I think we can all agree that where we are right now is not by accident. We didn't stumble to where we are. It's been a process, a policy to get as much misery to the American people as possible, to as much overwhelming of the system as possible to get to where we are. So there's not been, and that I've seen, a lot of movement. There's been a lot of talk. They're getting a lot of pressure finally from their own party, and that's the only thing that's going to make them move in direction to truly seal it down. And when I say seal the border, I'm not talking about just throwing more money at it. We're talking about having policies that stops the flow, not giving them more money so they can process more people through. That's their ideology, and that's their purpose. So again, it's a different conversation. We're dealing with the border versus the budget, but this is a very, very different time because we only have, 1 or 2 vote majority. So it makes it very, very difficult to navigate this. But I feel confident that our speaker will figure out a way to navigate this because we have to get it done for sure.
Well, you're right. I mean, you're down to a 2-seat majority, and you don't have the unity that you need to have. Do you feel you have unity, though, even with the Republicans for that border proposal?
If we deal with the border, we'll have more of that unity because at the end of the day, we know on our side that we have to seal it. And at the same time, we do have a very, very small majority. On our side, we have to recognize that being a small majority, we have to take the wins we can. We can't throw Hail Marys every single play and feel we're going to get there. We have to progressively get ourselves, and I hate to use that word, but strategically get ourselves to a position where we can have small wins until we can at least show the American people we can govern. So that's where we are at this point. Again, it's a very, very difficult place because we have to deal with people who have the same will to come to the same end game, which is support to keep our government going and seal the border at the same time.
So do you expect a government shutdown? Are you going to dig in without any change in border policy? Will you take it to the mat and, in fact, see a government shutdown?
I'll say this, coming back from the border this last week, and I think we had the largest delegation to go there, conference to go there, that is our red line. We cannot have a country that's sovereign, that's safe, if we do not have a place that we know people are being vetted through and we have some kind of security there. So that will be our red line, to say the least, to make sure the border is part of this process and sealed totally.
Congressman, let me get your take on higher education and what's going on here in terms of the anti-Semitism. You know, Democrats everywhere are turning on this administration and on Democrats, and it's really because of their treatment of the Jewish community across the country. A group of 6 Jewish students now are suing Harvard over anti-Semitism on campus. They say America's leading university has become a bastion of rampant anti-Jewish hatred and harassment. The Education Committee, meanwhile, kicks off its anti-Semitism investigation with a letter to Harvard demanding the school turn over documents and information regarding their response to the anti-Semitism on campus. What do you want to see here, Congressman?
Well, first of all, let me say this has been my vision for a while, that at some point that those segments of society that have been marginalized in the past, whether blacks, Hispanics, the Asian, Jewish people, at this point you see that we're going to wake up and get back to our core values, the good American values of faith, family, free market, and education. That's what's happening now. Once that happens, all it takes is a small majority of us, a small number, percentage of us to go back and vote our values, and we will pull our country back from the abyss. That's what's going on right now. We're going to hold these people accountable. It's been going on way too long. This DEI, this Marxist pull from within, we're now recognizing it, and because we do, we're having conversations like we never have had before. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle we're on, by the way. Democrats, independents, we want our country to be one that we can give our kids a legacy, that we can wake up every single day feeling safe, and not feeling to be divided, but every single conversation we have that's being put out there. So the higher ed is where that battle is going to be fought. I'm excited about being part of that process, and I'm excited really that American people across the board are waking up to what we've been up against for a long, long time, and we're going to hold these people accountable and start using a system that will allow our kids to come through feeling really good about our country and their future, for sure.
Okay, certainly students have really been disadvantaged in the last few years, whether it's, you know, school kids or university as well. Congressman, we'll be watching your work. Thank you so much for being here.